Greetings, YouTube. Chalk this buff detailed announcement as the shocker of the month of September. It's not that Gamora doesn't deserve some kind of buff, because if you want her to be as good as, say, Captain Marvel movie or Corvus or Cosmic Ghost Rider or Hercules, she's not there. But the shock comes from the fact that she already was buffed. And it was a buff that Kabam kind of just threw in with an update over a year ago. And they must have not been that happy with it, because now Gamora is getting a second buff, which is a good thing for those of you who went for Captain Marvel movie or Cosmic Ghost Rider or Corvus in your Cosmic Nexus Crystal, but you did not land on them. Instead, you landed on Gamora, or you chose Gamora as one of your 3 champions. Alright, it's going to give you the Gamora info. We'll skip it to save time. Gamora is the queen of stacking buffs. Stack up her fury and cruelty buffs to constantly increase her damage over the course of a fight. The longer a fight is, the more powerful Gamora will become. Keep up as many buffs as you can, and Gamora will be able to deal with Defender Miss, Auto Block, and Evade specials. Or evade abilities, excuse me. Additionally, Gamora can harness the power of her God Slayer strike, making her special attacks even more powerful. Make sure to time your specials to use this ability as often as possible to really get the most out of Gamora. Interesting. Alright, you see the base stats from the 3 to 6 star. Fury, Cruelty, Bleed, Armor Break, True Strike, Strengths, Buffs. Gamora can float a ton of buffs. Floating a ton of buffs, like that phrase is such a weird phrase to me. Over the course of the fight, if buffs are your aim, Gamora is the one for you. It also sounds like a weird Valentine's Day slogan. Miss counter. As Gamora's damage builds with her buffs, she also gains the ability to counter any opponent's miss ability, letting her play much safer into some tricky matchups. Weaknesses. Gamora is all buffs all the time and relies on them heavily in her kit, running into an opponent that has the ability to nullify, aka a lot of mystics. Away large amounts of buffs will spell a big problem for her. I just don't know too many mystic fights. I mean, maybe somebody like Corvus that I'm like, I'm going to bring in a cosmic anyway. Light attacks, 35% chance to gain a Fury buff, increasing attack rating by 609.25 for 9 seconds. Medium attacks, 35% chance to gain a Cruelty buff. That's pretty much the same, right? Oh, that was very strange. Always active, Gamora's personal buffs gain 1.5% plus duration of every seconds that have passed during the fight. Max bonus 60%. Or 60, yeah, plus 60%. If Gamora has 10 or more personal buffs active, her attacks cannot miss. That's cool. Heavy attacks refresh the duration of all personal buffs. This is, like I said, normal. Note, I love to cancel... It's weird that there's first person in the developer note. I love to cancel the first hit of my heavy attack into a special attack to make sure that I get the buff refresh and get the strongest specials possible. Okay, cool. Special attacks. Gamora begins each fight with the God Slayer Strike ready, which has a 65% chance to activate during each special attack. Once God Slayer Strike is used, goes on cooldown for 100 seconds, which is a pretty dang long time. That's over 2 minutes, right? Or, no, almost 2 minutes. 120 seconds is 2 minutes. Over a minute and a half. That's what I meant to say. Special 1. This attack has 100% critical hit chance, 100% chance to inflict a bleed debuff, causing 2,437 direct damage for 5 seconds. Attack gains a flat plus 600% critical damage multiplier. Special 2, the Jade Assassin. I hate fighting against her special 2 when I take risks. It's just a dumb thing for me to do, and yet I do it. This attack has 100% critical chance hit, 80% chance per hit to inflict an armor break debuff, removing an armor up buff and reducing armor rating by 525 for 18 seconds. God Slayer armor break debuffs during the attack gain plus 50% potency, plus 60% duration, and 150% ability accuracy. Developer note, in longer fights, a few special 2s stacked on top of one another spells a ton of damage, which makes sense since the special 2 does a ton of damage normally anyway. Special 3, God Slayer, 100% chance to gain a True Strike buff for 9 seconds, allowing this champion to ignore armor resistance, auto block, and evade effects. God Slayer, 100% chance to inflict a shock debuff, causing 4,874 energy damage over 10 seconds. If the opponent is a robot, instead inflict a degeneration debuff that deals double damage. Okay, so Gamora looks to be a robot slayer. That's a takeaway so far. Developer note, the bread and butter you need to deal with tons of tricky defenders in the contest is stored here in the Special 3. Make sure to rush to a Special 3 as fast as you can if you have to deal with any pesky evade or auto block champions. Signature ability, Deadliest Woman in the Galaxy. Special attacks, God Slayer Strike. Gamora's skill with the God Slayer Blade grows, increasing the chance to activate it during special attacks to 100%. Thank God, 100%. Additionally, the cooldown is reduced to 20 seconds. Okay, that is pretty significant. I mean, really significant, actually. Synergy bonuses, you got Angela and Guillotine, Nebula, Black Panther Civil War, Mr. Fantastic, Beast, Iron Man, Infinity War. For that, Gamora's Godslayer Strikes cooldown is reduced by 20%. Additionally, gain plus 20% attack rating during special attacks. I wonder, with that synergy and then with the max sig, if that means the Godslayer Strike cooldown basically is 0. Cybernetics upgrade with Silver Centurion Guillotine 2099. Gamora personal buffs gain plus 20% duration. Begin the fight with 1 Fury, 1 Cruelty buff. That's awesome too. That is really intriguing. As somebody who has a rank 3 Guillotine 2099, that might be worth trying out when the new patch goes live. Friends, armor rating, no big deal there. Teammates, perfect block chance, and there you go. I mean, I'm intrigued. I thought Gamora was already a fun champion to use. It's just, you can only play with 5 champions at a time when you're questing, and then on Alliance Quest and Alliance War, of course, it's way less than that. It's 3. So Gamora is just not going to be in my top 5. Now, she's somebody that if you're starting an account or your middle player tier account and you get Gamora as a 6-star, she could be a really valuable resource in questing. I don't predict this will put her to the top of the class, but I do think that it's going to make her even more fun, and she already was fun to use. So I'm intrigued, actually more intrigued in some ways than the Miles Morales buff, which might surprise some people, but I think Gamora is just more of my playing style than Miles Morales, at least on paper. Are you pumped for the Gamora buff? Comment below, let me know. And thanks for watching my Marvel Casino of Champions YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your night, morning, or evening, depending on when you clicked on this video.